While he didn't know he would one day transform the mortgage industry in Canada, right from the beginning, Stephen Smith's passion was clear.
I was a big math guy. I skipped 2 grades at school because back in the day, that's what they did. I came out of Ottawa. I went to Queen's University. I got a wonderful undergrad education there, and based on that education, I was able to go to the London School of Economics.
Smith earned his master's in economics, but unfortunately his career got off to a less than auspicious start.
His first business experience was not happy.
When I had my first, I hope my only bankruptcy, must have caused my mom and dad a little bit of heartache to see that at the age of 33 or 34, I'd lost everything and I was starting over again.
What fascinates me the most is how he started, failed, picked himself up immediately, and has one of the most successful financial services companies.
Smith picked himself up by forming First National Financial Corporation alongside Maury Taws in 1988.
I said, I've got these packages of mortgages that I can't fund. And he said, well, I've got all these institutions that are interested in buying them.
The first time Stephen and I met, pretty sure we were talking about the mortgage business, and I'm pretty sure Stephen was trying to learn as much as he could about the RBC mortgage business. He's a fierce competitor. He's a very smart businessman.
The first time I met Stephen was probably over 10 years ago. Someone said, that's Stephen Smith, and I've heard 100 nice things about Stephen Smith, and I said, that's Stephen Smith?
I didn't know Stephen, and I thought, wow, this company is aggressive. They are not afraid of anything. They must be street fighters.
Round 1, fight!
And then I met Stephen, and I thought his whole demeanor, he was humble, he listened, he didn't talk over you.
He is very thoughtful, smart, calm, confident, very high empathy, and very kind.
Smith's unique approach at First National helped build the business to over $100 billion of mortgages under administration.
He has made it very simple for a lot of people to get mortgages.
What does every Canadian want? What does everyone want? They want their own home with their family that they can spend happy times with.
He's got a slightly different take on the Canadian mortgage market.
He was one of our first tech entrepreneurs, you could see.
Back in '88, there'd be typing pools, and there'd be these IBM Selectric typewriters. Probably millennials have never heard of those. And you'd have to type out a mortgage commitment, and it would take half an hour.
He said, you know, this should be on a computer. And he started to write what became our Merlin system, which is an automated mortgage underwriting, instructing, and document system.
We were paperless and doing things online almost 20 years ago.
When Smith isn't busy reinventing the mortgage industry, he keeps active with some hair-raising hobbies.
So I started to ski, and then about maybe 13, 14 years ago, I started to heli and cat ski.
Stephen is a force of nature. Yes, he's got 20 years on me, but it really doesn't show.
I hope that his insurance broker isn't in the audience.
There's no way I'm going to go skiing with him.
What's really risky is cycling. Last year I fell and I fractured my hip and I had to have a hip replacement.
And he was walking like in, 4 weeks, 6 weeks.
Risk is in the eye of the beholder, and if you're prepared, then you can take the risk.
You know, a large number of entrepreneurs they're very measured risk takers. They're not wild risk takers.
Smith's measured perspective on risk allowed First National to navigate the industry and become the biggest single-family mortgage lender in Canada outside of the Big Five banks.
There was a liquidity crisis in Canada that we all remember. He took that opportunity to develop a new funding source and actually fund his own mortgages by going into the commercial mortgage-backed security market.
There are not many people in this country that I can think of who have taken the banks on head on and survived. He's more than survived. He's flourished.
And he's widely respected in the space to a point where competitors have actually struck partnership.
Because you're competitors doesn't mean you can't be friends.
Don't make a bet with him because he almost always wins. I've learned that the hard way.
I said, well, let's just make it 100. He says, oh, you're trying to trick me. Let's do 1,000. I said, no problem.
When he wins a bet, I usually have to write him a check. He doesn't cash them, he hangs them on his wall.
Beyond refusing to cash his friends' checks, Smith's generosity extends to Queen's University, where he made a groundbreaking $50 million donation.
Stephen was always grateful for his education at Queen's, and I think he felt it had been the foundation for everything that he has.
People see Stephen as one of Canada's smartest financiers, and I would say his biggest strength is his instinct for people and his kindness.
Please welcome Stephen Smith, 2019 inductee, as companion to the Order of the Canadian Business Hall of Fame.